Right then, so hey guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for part 15 in my Motorsport Manager Let's Play. And in the last couple of episodes, we did my first season in Tier 2, and we're going to do my second season in Tier 2, and we ended off the last episode, we were arguably the second quickest team behind Penasco, made some upgrades to our engineers, and we should be good to go. So let's start the new season, see if any upgrades come up. I don't know what to do, because we haven't got a lot of money. We could upgrade our manufacturing, because that's the weak link. Yeah, we'll upgrade our manufacturing, because that is the weak link in our car for the time being. We're still in the bottom half, just. And it might give me another one. I don't know if I'll buy another one. I mean, when I'm low on money, I don't mind the upgrade dilemmas not coming up. Is this one? Oh no, it's another popularity one. That's fine. I'll buy one. I don't really fancy buying a second one, to be honest, because they're quite expensive, and we're not. Well, we're doing okay financially, but okay. What sponsor? Eco Fuel or? I'd rather get this one, Bitter Chef, because it gives us a better race bonus, and we always seem to do better in the race than we do in qualifying. Okay, where's the first race of the season? Barcelona. Okay, we got 2 races this month. Okay. Another dilemma. Oh no. I would always. The things that I've noticed, I've contradicted myself, because I know earlier on this series, and I do sort of stand by it, you kind of generally want to get the better upgrade, like the more effective one, but screw it. Go hard or go home. I've just got this 6% design upgrade. Okay, right then, so sponsors leaving us. Okay. Now, one thing I should say before we properly get into this episode, my car development is now 76. It was 75 earlier on, so that's good. No, one thing I should say is I am recording this video the same day as I recorded the last Motorsport Manager video. That's only because I know for a fact that I won't be able to. Basically, what I'm saying is there's a period of time where I won't be able to record videos for certain reasons. So the last video, this one, and the next one are all being done within the same time frame, within a couple of days, really. So I know the Hungarian Grand Prix has happened, and I would talk about it, apart from the fact, as I'm recording this, it hasn't happened. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. Anyway, yeah, qualifying at Barcelona. Well, qualifying's looking good. 3rd and 6th. I mean, that's. I can't remember. Compared to the end of last season, it's about as good as we've ever qualified in Tier 2. I don't think it is the best qualifying session we've had, but it's one of the better ones. I mean, either way, we met the sponsor objective. That's good. In fact, both of our drivers were inside the sponsor objective. They should have paid us double. So yeah, talking of recording this episode in advance, yeah, as I said, I won't be able to talk about the Hungarian Grand Prix. If you guys want to know my opinions on the Hungarian Grand Prix, I'm sure I'll probably leave a comment in this video. I'll probably leave a comment in this video explaining thoughts about the Hungarian Grand Prix. But I do think Red Bull will do well. I really do. I don't think they'll win. I reckon we could see a Red Bull come second, though. I don't know whether. I mean, maybe you put money on Verstappen. But I don't know. It could well be Ricardo, but I reckon we could well see a Red Bull in second. I'm not guaranteeing it, and I am a part of the Autosport Grand Prix Predictor League, along with a few other smaller F1 YouTubers. And in that Predictor League, I'm still going to stick Hamilton first, Rosberg second, but it wouldn't surprise me too much if a Red Bull comes in the top 2. Another reliability issue, we've had a few of them in our time, especially in Tier 2, and that's great. And Elena was in second. I mean, we're not going to win the race, that's guaranteed. I mean, we're 20 seconds behind now, and we've got to come into the pits, and Schaffer doesn't. We could have taken. I was going to say we could have taken 2nd and 3rd. In fact, yeah, pretty much everyone ahead of us has got to stop again, apart from maybe the guy who is directly ahead of us now. Yeah, what a name, Stuyvesant. Now his first name begins with Z as well, so he's got an extravagant name. He might well beat us, but certainly we won for 3rd and 4th at the very least. And that's great. Reliability has stabbed us in the back once again. It looks like we're going to get 3rd this race. And 4th! We've just been passed by Sato Engineering. Okay, still a lap to go. We'll tell Virginia to push. We'll see if that makes any difference at all. Probably not. I think we're going to get... Oh no, she's in 3rd. Hang on. She's in 3rd. Oh, just about kept it across the line. So, a good race for us. But I mean, we could have been right up there, scoring the same amount as Penasco. Because look, the other Penasco driver only finished in 6th. So on to rebranding the team. Of course, I was meant to rebrand the team at the start of this episode because I go through a major rebranding every couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons anyway. I knew I was going to rebrand the team this time, and obviously I know this is part 15, but I mean part 14 isn't even out yet, so I'm responding to the comments from part 13 and below. And actually someone did comment, I'll show the comment up on screen, of a suggestion for a team name, Scuderia PSL. It's carrying on the Italian theme. I don't know, we do seem to be falling into Italian names a lot. I mean, we've had 40, we've been red at one point, which obviously has massive connotations with Ferrari, but Scuderia PSL, I like it. It's ambiguous, it could be anything, it just means we're Italian, so we could keep the 40 link, I guess. But we've already been red. Now, so I don't want to be red again. And then I was thinking, okay, what about yellow? Well, we already are yellow. So I thought, okay, colours of the Italian flag. Can't have green because obviously British racing green. So I don't know whether this is an Italian racing colour, but white. I say white, that's not really white though, is it? That's kind of disgusting. Well, let's just say it's white, and we'll go for Scuderia Ferrari. No, not Scuderia Ferrari, Scuderia PSL. I can never type on camera. And we'll go for the Roman Centurion logo just because of the Italian theme. I love it. It'll be the first time we've actually changed our logo. Okay, so that's all good. I mean, it's not really white, but I guess it's meant to be white. Right, we're really digging the Italian theme. I'll keep it for at least this season. I might change it again. I know PSL BMW is a suggestion that has kept cropping up, but of course, if you want me to, you know, of course, any suggestions for team branding, be sure to leave that down in the comments. And of course, I won't be able to do that for this episode or the next one, but the one after, I might well do it then, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, on to the second race, I believe, which is at Durango. Yes, it is. Well, before we head on to the second race, a press question from Talk Racing once again. Actually, that is a good pun. Talk Racing. That is fantastic. Okay, is Modern Motorsport 2 safe? Yes. Yes, it is. I mean, I could go on about this for a long time, but obviously there's a fine line between acceptable danger and unacceptable danger. I could go on about it for a long time, but all I will say is, for example, safety car periods. What's the point in them? The British Grand Prix. Why on earth were we stuck behind the safety car for 5 laps? I mean, when the Le Mans 24 hour, when they stuck behind the safety car for nearly an hour because of the conditions. So, yeah, Modern Motors, I mean, you want drama and action and excitement, but you don't want people getting killed, and it is that fine line between, or even seriously injured, is that fine line between acceptable danger and unacceptable danger. So, is Modern Motorsport 2 safe? Yes, but that's not... It's only a bad thing when it starts ruining the spectacle, which unfortunately I think it has, because they... Honestly, the safety car appears... The safety car may as well be a competitor in the championship, it appears that often. So as you can see there, James Fortier of Penasco has taken pole position. We've qualified 5th and 10th? 11th. Okay, Kellogg... The only reason she's so much slower is because we ran out of time for her to do a lap on the best setup, which Elena ran. So, you know, Kellogg was just kind of screwed over. We just ran out of time, really. But yeah, where's the other Penasco? 9th. Right then, so coming up to start the last lap of the race, and I'll tell you what, I'm not convinced by our pace, and I'm not convinced by our white livery either. I say white, it's kind of grey really, but 5th and 6th, it's about as good as we really deserve to finish really this race. Yeah, I mean, we were held up in traffic at the start. Carlos Schaffer, again for Penasco, wins the Durango Grand Prix, but here's the good thing, here's the slight crumb of comfort, is look at his teammate. James 48 retired, so in the Constructors' Championship, 10 and 8, okay, yeah. Okay, so Penasco did outscore us, but by nowhere near as much as they could have done. So that's all good. Constructors' Championship. Alright, we're still in the mix, but we need to find that form. I mean, the end of last season, we had remarkable form, and we just lost it. But I mean, there's still 9 races left to go, so hopefully we can find that again. Right, one thing I did forget about, I think this happened at the last race, because of course the game glitched out at the end of the last episode, because the manufacturing facility should have had 4 races to go in this episode before it was done, but then the game glitched out and said it only needed 1 race, so I kind of forgot it was done, because it's finished early. But anyway, so we can employ 10 extra people, so look at our car now, even in manufacturing it's good, so low tyre wear, quick pit stops, crucially high reliability, so again, this aids our race pace, but not our qualifying pace. But, well, yeah, things are looking better. So the qualifying results in Melbourne, as you can see, 4th and 6th, a better collective team effort than in the previous race. I mean, Kellogg basically did much better, and Elena did slightly better as well. But look, the 3 guys ahead of us is only 1 Penasco, 1 Sato Engineering, and 1 Harrianto. The other Harrianto driver is in 9th. The other Sato Engineering driver is in 14th, and the other Penasco is in 12th. So actually, as a team, we probably did the best in qualifying, so I'm feeling pretty confident for this race. Another day, another mediocre race, 6th and 8th, it's just, as basically, we're pretty much guaranteed to get 1 car finishing 6th, that's just been our finishing position. Well, Schaffer, should I say, wins the Melbourne Grand Prix. The sponsors wanted us to finish first. I mean, I wanted us to finish first. Did I expect us to finish first? Not really, but okay, Constructors' Championship I'm sure will make for delightful reading. Yeah. I mean, we could well get second, but will we get first? No. Penasco are going to need to run into some troubles for us to get first. Right, so I think it's clear we've got to make some changes, and as you can see, the weak link is our drivers. Now, here's the weird thing. If you look at the stats, Elena is better, but if you look at the results, Kellogg, I mean, this is just this season alone. She's got more podiums, more points per race. I mean, the DNF, I guess, kind of skews it against Elena, but Virginia just, at the very least, is as good as Elena, and I'm saying that because Elena's contract is running out in 2 months. So that means it'll be cheap to get rid of her. Oh, very cheap. Actually, it's always cheap to get rid of young drivers or former young drivers, because obviously we're paying them nothing. So we're going to get, not... Look at these drivers. Look at Billy Dan. I was going to get Jalen. But I mean, Jalen kind of pales in... Again, I mean, I know the engineer market develops, obviously, the more time you spend in a tier, but so do the drivers. Wow. Nah, we're gonna have to get... Yeah, we're gonna have to get Billy, aren't we? He's expensive, but... Now, we'll get him, and... Oh, no. I know it's been suggested in a previous episode to make a driver number 1, but I want to save that for another time. I'll keep him as equal. I reckon when I do the other Tier 2 Championship, I'm going to test out the driver 1. Both Penascos, both Harriantos, and 1 Sato Engineering. I don't understand how we ended last season as the second best, arguably the best team, and now going into this season with some upgrades, we're 4th, 3rd at best. So in the race, things are looking a bit better. Hang on. Schaffer has fitted on the wet tyres, right. Schaffer was the one who's dominating this race. I mean, basically, Schaffer was ahead, we were about 10 seconds behind, and then everyone else was in a field of their own. It's still not wet enough to firm the wet tyres. I remember in the last episode, which he gained on one of the Penascos by fitting on the wet tyres a lap later than them. Hopefully that can happen again. It's still not wet enough, still not wet enough, still not wet enough. Hang on, how far ahead are we? 19 seconds. Well, it's getting wet, it's still not wet enough. Maybe the end of this lap it is, but there's no point putting on the wet tyres for one lap. So we're just going to brave it out on the dry tyres. 22 seconds ahead. We pulled out 3 seconds. 23 seconds ahead. This is getting ridiculous. And I think Billy Dan, I think that's his name, but anyway, Dan is going to come round the last corner and under extraordinary circumstances is going to win his debut with Scuderia PSL. Schaffer is going to take third, about 25 seconds behind. I love these mixable conditions. Oh, they're what play to our strengths. I love it. Or safety car. I love safety car races. First, we've met the sponsor objective. Billy Dan wins the Kuala Lumpur Grand Prix. Fantastic. And there you go. I mean, Schaffer took the fastest lap, but who cares? We've taken 43 points in the Constructors' Championship. Penasco got 3rd and 5th, Sato Engineering got 4th and 9th, and Haryanto got 6th and 12th. Okay, so that means we'll be making movements in the Drivers' Championship, or Constructor, well, Drivers, yeah, but I love how in basically every other racing game you play, or not just you, but in any other racing game you play, you focus on the Drivers' Championship. It's only in management games where you completely disregard the Drivers' Championship. I don't even look at it half the time, but look. Anyway, we've overtaken both Haryanto and Sato Engineering and closed up to Penasco, so I think our charge is finally coming, and yeah, things are looking good all of a sudden. Well, qualifying is quite remarkable. We've got one Sato Engineering car right up there out of nowhere. Both Penascos are splitting us. I mean, we've met the sponsor objective, which I would say is all that matters, but considering we're in the championship hunt, it's not really all that matters at this point. We do actually care about where we qualify more than we did last year. So yeah, Scuderia PSL 3rd and 5th. Good qualifying. I don't know where Court Duat or Duat for Sato Engineering found his pace from, but boy did he find some pace. 5 lights out and away we go, and Dan is into 1st. No way! How did Dan get into... I don't care that Kellogg's dropped down to 8th, because Dan, I'm sure it won't last long, but he's in 1st. This guy is phenomenal. Dan, you have literally single-handedly transformed the team since you've arrived. Wow. And I was contemplating putting him as a driver number 1, but I don't think he needs it. Well, maybe he does, because I think both Penascos are quick, although... Oh, well, you'd look a fool for saying that now, wouldn't you? Well, I don't know. Who knows? We've only done a lap, but yeah, no, I was contemplating the driver 1, driver 2 thing, and actually, I will get to that at some point in this series. I will try out driver 1, driver 2 for a full season. But no, I was talking about... I was on Twitter just last night, tweeted about how Raikkonen... Because Andrew Benson for BBC Sport wrote about how... all the reasons why Ferrari kept Raikkonen. It wasn't an opinion-based thing, it was literally just laying down the facts. A great article, and I could see why Ferrari chose Raikkonen. Is he going to challenge Vettel? No. Is he going to push Vettel? No. Is he going to... Oh, we need to pit. Whenever I talk about real-life motorsport, I just completely forget about the game. Okay. Well, Dan's looking alright. Kellogg, not so much, but we've salvaged it somehow. And we've come out in 1st still. Well, Dan has anyway. But no, I think Ferrari would right to keep Raikkonen, because we know Ferrari, pretty much in the past 20 years, pretty much every single season Ferrari have done in the past 20 years, I'd say apart from 2007 and for the most part 2008, they have a clear driver 1, driver 2, whether it be Schumacher Irvine or Schumacher Barrichello or Massa Alonso or Raikkonen Alonso or Raikkonen Vettel. There's always a clear 1-2. And Raikkonen's a quick driver. he's improved this year compared to 2015, 2014. He's got similar ideas of how to set up the car to Vettel, which is good. And Raikkonen is still, on his day, a race winner. But, again, I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. But no, he's still a race winner. He's not bad. There's better drivers that could take his place. I mean, Perez, Bottas, Sainz, all of them. They're all certainly debatably better. But that's not the point. Ferrari wants someone who will move out of the way for Vettel. And Raikkonen will do that. Raikkonen will and has done that. Raikkonen is in it for the team. I think Raikkonen's one of those drivers, I'd say, like Jenson Button, went out, has won a world title, and is pretty content with what they've achieved. Unlike Alonso, who's desperate for 3 titles. Raikkonen is in it for the benefit of the team. And that's what I think, because he will move out of the way for Vettel, if need be. But at the same time, like right now, I mean, Vettel's not really competing for the Drivers' Championship. You know, he'll quite happily... Well, Ferrari will just let him do his thing, you know, and he'll get the best result he can. And I think that's why it's easy management. I mean, if there was a clear 1-2 structure at Mercedes, we probably wouldn't have Rosberg and Hamilton taking each other off. I mean, Ferrari just want an easy time, an easy management time, and they want an individual who personifies Ferrari, which obviously Schumacher did, Alonso could have done had he won his World Championships. And I think, I'm not saying the 1-2 is the best method, but you've got to... Oh, Philip Dan's won the race. Kellogg, I think we screwed over Kellogg with pit stops because I was too busy talking about Raikkonen, but we won anyway, so that's... Okay, and actually as a team, we probably scored about as much as everyone else that race. But no, I mean, I'm not saying Raikkonen is the best option for Ferrari, but considering Ferrari want a 1-2 driver structure, and considering that, they're going to have Raikkonen, because Raikkonen is pretty much the only driver who would move out of the way for Vettel and would willingly have him be the whipping boy. I mean, I guess like Gutierrez, Ericsson, they probably would, but I mean, they're not Raikkonen, are they? And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the best option, but I'm saying he's the best option for Ferrari, because we know Ferrari have a clear 1-2 driver structure, which no other team does, really, and I guess some teams could probably benefit from it. I guess Mercedes right now probably could. I mean, as we saw in 2007, I mean, McLaren with Alonso Hamilton, they shot themselves in the foot with that, because, well, I mean, from a Drivers' Championship point of view, they lost that. I guess I know for teams, Constructors' Championship matters more, but Hamilton did much better with Kovalainen as his teammate than with Alonso. And obviously, sure, Constructors' Championship financially matters, but I'll tell you what also matters for teams: sponsors, and sponsors getting airtime. Now, how do you get airtime for sponsors? Winning races. How do you win races easily? Putting all your resources, or not necessarily all your resources, but prioritising one driver and having them be the child of Formula 1 for that time, like Hamilton was in 2008. And I'm not saying the 1-2 structure is better, I'm saying it's easier for management and it suits Ferrari, and because of that, that's why they kept Raikkonen, because Raikkonen will move out of the way. If you get in Ricciardo, certainly, or Verstappen, they're not going to let Vettel be the #1 guy, are they? They're going to fight it, and Ferrari just, I don't think, want the hassle. But anyway, yeah, that's that. I was talking about that to someone on Twitter, and they disagreed with me. But I mean, it's not. It is a highly debatable thing whether they should have kept Raikkonen. And also, Raikkonen is just the funniest guy in the grid, and for that reason alone, I'm glad to see he's hanging around for another year. Whether he deserves it or not is a different matter. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, so that's that, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and obviously the next video will be out. Part 16 will be out. Well, obviously it'll be out before you guys have even seen this one or the last one. So, if you want to talk to me about the Hungarian Grand Prix, I'm sure I'll probably leave a comment about that, and I'll probably reply to comments about the Hungarian Grand Prix in this video. And yeah, we'll be finishing off the Tier 2 Championship at the end of the next episode, and hopefully we'll win it. I know I screwed over myself this race with Kellogg. Talking about Raikkonen, but hopefully we can recover that in the future races. I mean, championship-wise, easily recoverable gap, easily, especially if Penasco gets some bad luck with retirements or etc. And we got Indianapolis coming up, and I love Indianapolis on this game. Yeah. So no, things are looking good. Hopefully we'll win it. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. So I'll see you then.